Well, hello and welcome to another Marketing Minute Live. I'm just going to do a quick audio test before we get started. Want to make sure that everyone can hear me. If you can see here, I'm just testing the audio here just to make sure, just before we get started. Who wants to go through a live session thinking everyone can hear us and you can't? Okay, so I have audio. Great. So, welcome to another Marketing Minute Live. We're excited for this one because we get to introduce you to a new addition to our team. Well, Refuge isn't really a new addition because he interned for us before, but we're so thrilled to have him back as part of our team. He's from our Canadian location. Hey, Refuge, thanks for joining us today. Can you hear Refuge? I'm not getting any audio. You there, out, Refuge? Uh-oh. Maybe having a little bit of some technical difficulty. Can you hear us, Refuge? Okay, so oh, Refuge now? No? Oh boy. Okay, so while Refuge work on the audio, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So what we've been talking about over the last as the year began were some trends that you should be looking at implementing into your marketing. And one of the trends, of course, is increasing engagement on social media. That's actually a challenge, though, that a lot of business owners and marketers are saying that they're having a hard time with, especially when it comes to Facebook and some other platforms. But I'm going to bring Jasmine on with me to join us as we talk further about this subject. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
So we were talking about how there is this big dilemma with increasing engagement. And if you don't see the results on social media in terms of growth and conversion, well, this is the session for you.
Mhm. And it's important to keep in mind why engagement is even matters in the first place, because some people may look at likes or comments as reshares as not something of value for small businesses that are trying to bring in revenue. But the bottom line is that engagement leads to revenue. You have to have people interacting with your post and the content that you create so that way the algorithm can actually push those posts out to even more people. So now you're improving your awareness. And then also, those same people that interact with your posts, those are going to be your future customers, your future repeat customers. So it's also important to make sure that you are communicating with them on a daily or weekly basis. And then lastly, diving a little bit into the idea of like using ads or email marketing, you can retarget those people who have interacted with your post, and you're able to track all that depending on if they like, if they comment, or if they reshare your post. So you can see that engagement is a really big part of a marketing strategy here on social media.
So, the first tip that we have for you, and it's a very important tip at that, is be conversational. I mean, they don't call it social media for nothing. So, first and foremost, you don't want to just post and run. Um, we are trying to make sure we're utilizing our time wisely and scheduling content ahead of time, but we want to make sure that we are also interacting with people. You want people to interact with you, you're going to interact with them as well. So that means paying attention to the comments, replying to some of the comments that may be posted, the private messages. Allow people to see that your social media platforms are being monitored. You also want to make sure that when you're posing a question or creating a post, that you're incorporating a question. If it could be helpful information that you're posting, and if they find it helpful, you may get a like out of them, right? But that's not necessarily what we're really after. We want to start the conversation. If you think about it, if you went to a networking event, you wouldn't just make a statement. You would ask questions in order to get the conversation flowing. So naturally, that's what you would want to do. I want to show you an example of where I did something like this on LinkedIn. I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me a moment here. Let's try that one more time here. We're going to share the tab that has LinkedIn. And okay, so that's not the post I'm referring to. This is the post. So if you notice in this post, I started out with a question. And then I elaborated further on what I am looking for, what exactly that I mean when I say that a change can occur by means of a challenge. Now, we all know we're all going through a huge challenge, has been going through a huge challenge for almost a year, way beyond tired of it. And I had gotten some individuals that had liked the post, but they didn't initially actually responded to my question. So, what I decided to do was tag them and even go as far as asking the question. And sure enough, that definitely helped. And it created quite a bit of conversation on that topic. So, sometimes that may be what you have to do to kind of pull people into a conversation. Similar to if you were speaking with a group of individuals about a topic, you may direct a question to someone. And in order to get the conversation flowing. Well, that's what I did in this example.
Mhm. And what I liked about your example that you had there, Karen, is that you kept the conversation going. So someone will reply to your post and then you replied back. And when you share these authentic and genuine replies and you keep the conversation going, keep it alive, that can really help improve your engagement as well. And it also helps you as a business show a personable side to your business or to your social media presence, that you're not just shooting out posts, but you're really taking the time to gain a communication with your audience and join in the community.
And Jasmine, what was fascinating about that is the fact that not only can you see the amount of views increase as you tag individuals and they respond to it, but what I like about LinkedIn is the fact that you can actually click that link that shows the amount of views, and you can actually see a breakdown of job titles and the type of companies that are viewing this content as a result to your efforts. So instead of waiting until the end of the week or a few days later to actually look at the results, you're actually seeing that in real time. And I thought that was really cool.
Very nice. Okay, so our second tip is to interact with the community, which we kind of went into towards the end of this tip. Make sure you're not limiting this conversational approach, actually, not just to your post or to your page, but to more pages and more posts. So you can interact with people that are in your niche or in your field or people that you already follow, just taking some time either out of the week or day to scroll down your own homepage feed and interact with those you're already connected with. Or you can engage with other people in your niche. So, one thing that I really like to do, especially on Instagram, is go to the hashtag that may be a popular topic in our industry, and you can interact with different posts that are using that hashtag. And that way, you are not only putting yourself out there and socializing on a social platform, but you're also giving yourself more exposure and awareness. The comment that you leave on someone else's page, someone may stumble upon your content or your page because of that.
So really you want to, as a business, keep up with some of these digital marketing trends, because what you're going to find is by doing this, it's going to allow your business to stay agile and effective. So I encourage you to jump on some of these trends and get an edge on your competition.
Mhm. And this is a really good example. For example, Instagram. A lot of the times when they have a new trending feature, such as the Reels, or for a while, I remember when this IGV Stories came out. They were bringing a lot of awareness and exposure to businesses who hopped on them right away. And this is because when Instagram launches a new trend, they actually are pushing out this feature to all their audience in an attempt to kind of make it more popular. So the algorithm will automatically favor new features or content types to help with the update and help it grow in usage or popularity. So that's just a kind of like a little tip. Whenever a new feature comes out on any social media app, it's worth hopping on it immediately, kind of playing with it a bit because it can really help increase your own engagement and awareness.
Now you recently used one of those new trends on Instagram.
Hmm.
What was your experience like?
Very nice. We had a triple the amount of engagement than we usually do on our Instagram post. So knowing how the reels work, I wasn't surprised, but it was happy to see it like in effect.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I'm really excited to continue using that new update because it really just adds something fresh to the content that you create. So that's another thing too. Of course, we're working on building engagement, but also for your business or for yourself, mixing up your content and hopping on new trends can really help you get kind of out of that rut of posting the same things over and over again on social media.
Absolutely. So that brings us to the end of today's Marketing Minute Live. I promise you, you'll get a chance to meet Refuge. So sorry about the technical
I
difficulties,
know.
but definitely next week you will be meeting Refuge on our Marketing Minute Live. So be sure to join us. Next month, we are going to be discussing the three pillars to a successful social media presence, right, Jasmine?
Yep, my webinar will be towards the end of February. So this was kind of like little tidbit into engagement things that you can do to improve your engagement on social media. But the webinar will go into three parts on how to do this, and then we'll dive into examples and just more discussion. So if you enjoyed today's session, then I hope to see you at that webinar coming up next month.
You don't want to miss it. So we look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place, and make it a great week.